Being non-binary is interesting because if you date men, you'll deal with dudes who like really don't want you to fully transition, and it's so fucking creepy. Like, I don't know, but even then, like, I'll tell people about the non-binary shit, and I'll communicate how I feel about it perfectly, and be like, yeah, don't worry, it doesn't affect my life too much. It just means that someday maybe I'll like transition or whatever. But as of now, I'm pretty chill with what I am. It's just a label to fit like the stage I'm at right now. And then he was like, most dudes pretend they're chill with it, pretend they're fine and stuff, and then eventually time goes on, and then they're like, fuck, like, they're like, never transition, never transition. You'd be so ugly as a man. Think about it, you'd be an ugly man, and if you were a man, you'd probably want to kill yourself because you couldn't survive in society as a man. It's like, why are you telling me this, nigga? You're not gonna make me not transition. If I'm like, no offense, there have been people who transitioned even in the face of death, which is, no offense, always present with the trans community. And it's like, it's just gonna make me go, I'm not gonna fuck with you then. Because one, I would look sexy as a guy. Two, I would do it for me and not for others. Three, if I really wanted to do it even in the face of peril, that's how I know undeniably I am that. And then especially, or I could date a dude and then they'll be like, you're a beautiful woman. You are such an amazing, perfect woman. And then I'll be like, you could just say I'm amazing, perfect, and beautiful. You don't have to add the woman part. It feels necessary, and I can tell what you're doing. It's like, because I'm not the biggest fan of that. Because it's intentional, and then usually it only happens after any spare small moment of me being non-binary or trans topics ever get brought up that they want to go really hard on that. And then those same niggas, narcissistic and disgusting as fuck as they are, they'll be mad when I hang up the phone on them because I'll communicate the boundary and then they'll do it immediately, like the first second they get the chance to. Like, congratulations, you're scaring me off and into better people, so yay. Scaring me into the arms of much better people. But I don't know, being non binary is still a weird thing for a lot of reasons. It's hard to explain. I already made a video before where I talked about how I thought non binary was just like kind of like attention seeking or just a little bit bullshit, but how I still understood it and supported it. But it's like, it's certain things like neopronouns. I'm not the biggest fan of those. I get it though, you could treat it just as a nickname, so I'm not gonna shit on it. But I don't know. Like that, I think is overkill. But if it's like, hey, if you want different pronouns they them, sure. Z them, that sounds too stupid. Maybe people could get adjusted, but that's stupid as fuck. I'm not like no, like just no. But shout out to those who can. I'm not that strong of a person. I'm one of the most open-minded people I know. But when it comes to words, I'm sorry. It's like she, her, he, him, they, them, and if somehow they them fucks you up, then it's like, I don't know what to tell you. That's a word that was really designed to address everybody. Like, I'm just saying. But it's hard to. But then eventually, I remember, like, I eventually got online and I asked, can someone who's non-binary like explain non-binariness to me? And then this one person, I still am in contact with them to this day, bless their soul. They said this one single line on some Manchurian candidate shit that turned me from non-binary seems stupid, but I still respect it and think it's cool, but I still think it's kind of silly. To, oh shit! Not only do I like it now, but I am non-binary. Fuck! It's like bestow, like just gay wisdom, bang. And it is weird whenever I date like straight cis men. Like, I usually don't bring it up, but I guess somehow along the way people can clock it in me, which is amusing for a lot of reasons. I even made a video on here talking about like the Actually, I made it on my Instagram. How it could be like this amusing thing where someone will think I'm a man, or how even before I ever called myself non-binary, people would mistake me as a man all the time, or even forget I was a woman. That happened all the time. Like, I remember even like a few months ago, I was walking down the street in like a nice dress and some heels and some tights and stuff, and some dumbass motherfucker was like, "Is that a man? What is the world coming to?" And I kind of thought to myself, wrong math, but right equation, kind of. It's like, bitch, It's like what? It's like, no, I'm just a black woman who's tall, is with short hair. You fucking cunt. That can be a topic for another day. How also people over masculinize black women and stuff. I don't know. But either way, what I was gonna say is it's always amusing when I try to talk to like sometimes I've even had dreams, and dreams are so funny. I once had this very surreal dream where I knew what it meant the second I woke up. I woke up, I told my ex Liam when we were still dating about it. I was like, I had a dream where I was a man and it felt natural and good to me and I liked it. And then I saw like this like feminine version of myself, like the ideal feminine, like perfect luscious hips, luscious breasts, tight snatched waist, long hair, beautiful clear skin, like perfectly cute and sexy and desirable in all the ways I want. Like I'm talking like sexy big body bends, bitch. I'm just saying. I looked snatched. I looked so fucking good. Ooh, I looked like, and I kind of could tell that the dream was kind of like let's just say in the dream I fucked myself. Or like I was getting like the female part of me with my big, okay, this is gonna get sexual, I'm sorry, you're gonna have to hear this. Let's just say my most ideal feminine version of myself was basically, I don't know if I want to say this, let's just say on the male version of myself, which yeah, I motorboated myself. It was great. 10 out of 10 dream. It felt amazing. God, that was an amazing dream. But and I know you're like, what the fuck? I have to include it for context. But I remember I just kind of woke up from that dream and I was like, oh, I see. That's like a dream about like how I enjoy the idea of like looking like a woman and being seen as sexy, desirable, and beautiful. But my most natural state could kind of be that of like, one could say, sort of like how I could picture a man being. Like I would be totally fine in either form. And I don't know, I think it was just like one of those wake up call dreams. Sometimes I get those where it's just like, hey, here's a reminder that you're trans. And it's like, oh, okay. Because sometimes I have moments of denial. But, you know, even then I woke up from that dream. I told my ex Liam about it. He was like, I mean, I don't like I don't know. Like I think you just might be a woman who just has like different interests and dresses a certain way. I don't think it means that you want to be another gender or that you are another gender. I think you're fine just as you way you are. Just embrace that you're like a chick who wears more masculine clothing or likes to talk or act a certain way. And then I just kind of, what I like to do when men say shit like that is I like to turn to them and just say the most like trans shit ever. And I also was very prominent in this one Discord group that was just full of other like black trans people of all sorts of different trans types. Like, you know, like fully transitioned, non binary, pre trans, like all that shit. And I rolled over to him and I said, you know, me and my friends often talk about how we wish that there was a pill we could take so that we could just switch into like the other perceived gender at any time we want. Or even just to change our genitalia because we don't want to just have what we have. Like having just a pussy is lame. I like if I could have a dick, I would love it. And if I could have like a nice smooth flat chest and like some muscles and be seen as attractive to women, absolutely. And I would love to date a woman, and I actually would have not dated a woman because I feel like dating a woman when I'm not in my ideal form would just like complicate things and lead to it being messy or self sabotaging. But yeah, me and all my other trans friends, we talk about this often. We have a lot in common. And simply put, I want a fucking dick, Liam. I want to look like a man. Like I'm good with what I look like. I'm just saying, I want that. And then he just is like, oh, and he just kind of like, you know, was like, ooh, and then just rolled over and focused on his video games. And it's like, oh, so you mean to tell me that's not a natural thing for a woman to feel? Oh! Funny enough, similar conversations happen whenever we talk about mental illness in me. I've told him about certain conditions that I don't tell other people about, not even you. And with him, I remember we talked about like it, and then he was like, I don't think you have that. I think you just have a very creative imagination, is all. Like, I don't think you have that. And I had to explain, like, and then I would just have to say something extremely, extremely descriptive and terrifying, and he would do the same shit of, like, oh, that's not what a normal human does. She might have something. But of course, if you're someone's ideal partner, then they want to keep you ideal in their mind. So then it's like, I don't want to address that this chick could potentially one day transition. I want her to be swayed from that. Like, no, just keep being a cute tomboy girl. Please, please, please. Please. Like a whole lot of negging and begging. And then for mental illness, it's like, no way that you could have a condition. You're too perfect and awesome. Shut up. Like, I hate to break it to you. If you like me now, then a label for what I already am isn't gonna really change shit. And then also negging and begging me to hide certain things about myself isn't gonna change much either. I'm just saying. Mm. Anyway, But yeah, I enjoy both sides. That's why I'm non-binary. I remember a trans friend of mine. They also told me that, like, well, another way that some people also can be not even realize they're trans is that they'll have such like a strong passion for helping trans people, like amazingly strong, and they, or like gay people and stuff, and then they'll be like, I'm not gay, I just believe in human rights, which it is possible. Or you can be trans and believe in human rights and see people as people and love people. Doesn't inherently mean you're that. But it is a little amusing that sometimes I have met multiple people where they'll be like, I'm not gay, even though every single one of my friends is gay and or trans, and like I don't have any straight friends. They just get me in a way other people don't, and then usually months later they'll be like, okay, fine, I'm gonna take the fucking estrogen, and then they realize, shit, never mind, this feels normal and natural. I don't know. It's funny how it can just like surprise you how certain things can be. I remember with this one friend, I remember with this one friend, I had no idea. I had no idea. I don't know if I even want to bring this up. Let's just say a friend of mine, at first they just wanted to experiment with their fashion. And let's just say, it did lead to a sliding scale, and let's just say, she's very happy now. And she enjoys her life 10 times better than if she were to stay in her previous form. And, like, it's like, okay. Because they kind of realize, like, okay, I might lose, like, homophobic friends or transphobic friends or these pieces of shits in these areas, but I gain people who will love me for what I want to authentically be. And that's the most important part. And so they're 10 times happier, enjoying their fashion, wearing what they want, doing what they want, and experiencing bliss. And I want that for people. Amen. And as for me, I'm someone who can enjoy a binder as much as I enjoy a push-up bra. I can look at myself when I'm at my most feminine state, when I am like, ooh, I shaved all the body hair off of me and covered myself in shea butter and like coconut oil, and I look fantastic. I'm wearing the best lip gloss. Ooh, I'm wearing my perfect like push-up bra and the little like sexy V-string thong that I got from Victoria's Secret with the sparkles on it, and I'm wearing my fancy diamonds, and I look fucking amazing like a James Bond girl. But guess what? I would also be fine being James Bond. I'm also fine being the type of person where I wear a binder with a fucking three-piece suit, and I have my hair in cornrows, and I have a mustache, because believe it or not, I can grow a pretty killer mustache, so I'm sure you might have noticed in some videos. And I would probably be like, this feels great. I remember at some point, like a few months ago, I was walking around in public, like dressed masculine, and I kind of thought to myself, I might get some funny looks, but I'm going to do it. And I wore my mask, and I wore my backwards hat, and I wore my fashion. And it felt really fucking good. I felt so amazingly euphoric. Like, I can't even explain the feeling I got. But yeah, some things are just a little undeniable. And I'm not someone who's in the habit of denying or shrinking myself for what other people want. And then lo and behold, me being the way I am, people still want me. Doesn't change shit. They'll live. And I always tell a nigga, if I do one day transition, then, like, I don't know, we could still be buddies and play video games. I could help you find another girl or whatever. Or potentially, and we could be chill. That's how I think, at least. Oh, but yeah. Then again, who knows how those connections might work out, because they are connections founded on desire. But let me not end that on a depressing note where I would have to rethink every male connection in my life ever. Let's end it on a positive note. Peace out.